Hello all. Today we will be showing you how to produce spot colors and get those true colors for your DTF prints. So even if you have converted a machine of your own, you don't have the L1800, this method should still work for you, and we are going to try to maximize that bottom line so there's not a lot of waste. That way you get better margins on your prints when you're ordering these sheets. So stay tuned, let's get into it. Okay, the first thing we want to do is think about this. So you can either use a full A3 sheet, like as we have here. But what I would like to do is I keep all of these in a bin. So when you have bad DTF prints, you tend to want to throw away the entire sheet, but it may not have messed up the entire sheet. So let's say, which this was more than likely, something where I had an issue with it chopping off the top, and then I stopped the printer from printing there, and then I went ahead and trimmed this, and I set this in my little bin here. And what I like to do with these, let's say I'll take this sheet. I'm trying to do here, and you don't have to use this cutter. I love this cutter. I've had it for a year now, and it has some sort of carbide strip on the bottom of here. And as you press down, it sharpens the blade over time. So instead of it dulling the blade, it sharpens it. And these are replaceable too. The link will be in the description, but you could use a guillotine cutter, but I would prefer this, which is called a rotary cutter, and it'll get those clean cuts. So just a little side note here. But what we're trying to do is see how many 4x6s we can get out of the sheet. So this is 12 here. This is 8 here. So I can only pretty much go 6 this way. So what I can do is I can go ahead and mark 6. And since it's pretty much 12 this way, I should be able to get 4-inch widths, if that makes sense. So I marked it with my little fine point Sharpie. You can use anything as long as it scores it pretty well. We can't really utilize this. We can't push it that far. So this is trash at this point. Now I'm gonna come across and I'm just gonna mark 4. And you don't want to mark 4 and then 8 because this cut that I do may not quite be 4. So we're just gonna take it one step at a time. This is now one test print. So we can test print aside, we can set our artboard to 4x6 within Illustrator or whatever your software, whatever design software you're using. You want to set that artboard to 4x6. That way we can test a smaller print and test our color output, and if it's wrong, we just throw it away and we try it again. But if you're a person who likes to print transfers, don't throw away those test prints. We keep them. Let me go over here real quick. I've geared my business around printing transfers. So the bad prints that we do, let's say the color output is incorrect, what I like to do is I just save those prints. So this was an example of when my red was close, but it wasn't quite true. I wanted a bright red, not a athletic or a true red with this. So that doesn't make this trash. All I do is just save this. So if a customer comes by and they say, hey, what is that? I can tell them, hey, we print transfers. And so even our bad prints become useful because I put them in a little sample pack with the heat pressing instructions on it, and I give that to them for free so that they could go home, test it, and see if they would like us to provide them with the transfers. So that's just a little side note. If you don't need that information, sorry for wasting your time. But yeah, so that's why we do this. It's to push it as far as possible, because if you load one of these A3 sheets and you test the colors and you don't like it, you're throwing those away, and we can't do those. You can get, I haven't cut an actual full sheet, but so you should be able to get about 8, maybe even 10, just depending on how clean your cuts are. You can get 8 to 10 tests out of one sheet. So we're back at this. I lost my place, 6, so we need to go over one more. Just make sure it's fairly straight. And I'll show you how to set that template up within ACRORIP also, and you only need to do it one time. So now we have 3 sample sheets that we can test our color output on. Okay, so now we are going to load our 4x6 sheet that we've cut. Make sure it's snug. Want to press down with your hand. I don't want to scratch the film. Press down with your hand and make sure that's flush to the back. See how it was down low? You'll get a loading error. So you want to press down until you feel it flush and push that way. Make sure it's flush so that's going to feed correctly. And that's why your cuts are very important. You know, how close to factory your cuts are. That's why I like the Rotary cutter instead of the guillotine. But we're going to come over here to Illustrator. Okay, so we are here in Illustrator, and this is actually for a white t-shirt. So this is actually how the design would lay. I hope you can hear me okay. But this is how the design would normally lay on a white t-shirt, but I believe this would be on black. So I should have a black template here. And so this color is red, but I need to change all of this to blue, but not just yet. We're not quite ready for that step. So I'm going to, but this is the final design we'll be printing. And also, if you're using a color profile, that may be the reason why your colors aren't true. It may be that I know it sounds weird not seeing me, but I'm talking, I only have one camera. So it may be that the color profile, the ICC profile, when they created it with the colorimeter, it basically was meant for a certain percentage. So you have to contact your supplier or distributor, it will be, and find out what color percentage that ICC profile is supposed to be at, or just play around with those values yourself. So I just sent over a test print. It's a 4x6, and this will show whether or not the white is laying down properly. We've got the geonite swing away, heating up. I keep a sheet of parchment down just to ensure there's no powder or residue getting on the lower platen of the press. More on this later. We'll be converting it this week. Just bear with us, and I'm going to record the entire process so you guys will be able to see my successes and failures as I try to make this thing happen. So this is looking pretty good here. So we're going to go back to display here, and then we will import these swatch sheets. I'll also have these in the description. My sheet was cut. I'm gonna have a little overspray, but look at that white. It's looking pretty good. Colors are vibrant. So now I know that none of the colors look faded here at the top, and this could be a sample print. It's chopped off, but they know that it's a sample print. So we're gonna head back to the display and get these swatches loaded. All right, now I'm in Illustrator here, and again, I'm sorry if you don't have Illustrator or any of the Adobe suite, but this is the only method that I've learned how to actually design and do things. So I have this pulled up here so that I could borrow these colors later for what will be the royal blue for the client in this printout. So firstly, I have this open so that I could save this as well, so for you guys. So I'm going to go here within the RIP. That was the image that we just printed, the 4x6 from the method that I just showed you. So no, need to open. And remember to right click and open from here, because it'll save all of your settings for the most part. So we are not in the right folder. Oh, I guess we were. It's just the wrong. Okay, so that's for the gators. This is the color chart 1. So this is the first color chart, and more than likely it's going to keep these settings. So I may just have to bump this 40% to 50% because I opened it. So you see how all of the settings change? None of this is different. If you're in ACRORIP 9, this may have changed from 100% white to gradient, so you have to look out for that. Otherwise, all of these settings should be the same. We're printing at max DPI for the white and the color to get the most vibrancy in our whites, because this will be, we're going to print a color chart on the actual shirt so that we could match it to a pair of shoes in case someone comes into the store or they need that spot color. So enough talking here. I need to move this over a little bit so that it's not chopped off like that 4x6 was. So now we need to mirror this, because remember, we need to remember where the relation of each color is to what we see on our monitor later. So this is ready. Did I do the 50%? Okay. Change that to 50%. And this is ready to print. So we'll right click, hit print. And again, we aren't using an ICC profile for this. If you do have one, use it. So both of these boxes are checked. Ensure that, so that you would get that white and the color to lie down. And so we're sending, no, let me make sure. Okay, the template is set. Okay, so we'll send this job over. And once this prints, we'll just do the same thing. I'll right click here and I will import the DTF color chart 2, which will, again, this will be in the description. This is a free swatch template that I've created. So, well, I didn't create it from scratch, but I split it up so that it would fit on the A3 sheet to make it easy for you guys. Okay, so that print is about halfway through. I hope you can see me. And I'm just going to prep this shirt here the way we do any other shirt. Using a lint shaver here. Every shirt that I've ever done, we use a lint shaver. And so this is probably from 2 jobs here. I don't know if you can kind of see. Yeah, all of this lint is from 2 jobs. Real quick, a side note. So this is a little tip. I might do just a top 10 garment decorator tip video. So if you think of any printing method, I should have probably mounted that higher, but if you think of any printing method, what happens when you dry your clothes? You know, the lint breaks free from your clothing and it fills the compartment. So no matter whether you screen print a shirt, DTG, DTF, name your method, when that lint breaks free from the garment, so with it comes your design. So we've lint rolled thousands of shirts over 10 years, and I'll never stop doing that. All right, then we'll just get the wrinkles and the moisture out here while we're waiting on this print to finish. Powder it, press this one, and then print the second color chart. Hey. Okay, so we have color chart number 1 here. I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect. I guess I should, just for all intents and purposes, we have our second one printed here as well. So I need to see how wide this will need to be. That's close enough for me. And again, this is just for me. And this will just be for you as well too. So this will be done in 2 stages since my press isn't large enough. Yours may be. Okay. All right. I can tell here straight away that I don't really want to disturb this too much, but I would suggest for you to use a white shirt, and this is why. The lettering is black. So if you have freakishly superb eyesight, you may be able to read that on a white shirt. So I use black because I just have extra shirts here, but I would suggest white. But I'll show you how to compare it if you don't have, you know, an extra white shirt, but I'm pretty sure most people do. So I'm setting that t-shirt on the glass so it'll cool faster. Oh, this will be a good lesson on perceived value too here in a second. So if I were going for a navy, I would compare it to the navy on this blank. So get in the habit of trying to be ahead of the holidays and different things like that. Me personally, 4th of July, you know, I'll celebrate that, but for personal reasons, I don't really celebrate holidays. But so think in terms of perceived value. No one's really going to be offering shirts like these, and I can include these in the description. I believe I have a wholesale account for them, so it should be pretty easy to set up. Just get a tax ID, but you still may be able to source these for fairly cheaply. But we have Memorial Day coming up, we have 4th of July coming up, and so you would probably get a lot more orders if you just offered this as one of your blanks. And if you're printing with DTF or DTG or whatever method, all you do is just adjust the design to, you know, whatever that blank is going to be, because they just want the stars and stripes on the sleeve. So that's a quick note. That shirt should be about cool down. Okay. I over powdered this a little bit. Let's see the little. So we're gonna slide this over real quickly. That's why I wanted to give myself enough space before, so that I wouldn't end up on the seam of the armpit there. Have our other one. Make sure it's not upside down, which it is. It was. Make sure that collar hem falls below the edge of the press. All right. And this isn't done cooling off, but all we're doing is comparing this royal color to what we see here on the shirt. So we're just taking this and we're panning over. So far we're about here. I could even go there. But we'll wait for this to cool and just make sure, be certain that none of these on this second color chart match it better.
Hey Jay.
Hey, how's it going?
Oh my bad, you live?
Oh no, just recording. I can cut it out though.
Oh yeah.
What's the word?
Oh, now you want to edit me out?
No, I try to do it before.
This man know what he's talking about.
I'm gonna keep it
Come
in,
on,
man.
man. You know what he's talking about. I am fitness.
I am fitness. Yeah.
I am fitness.
What's interesting is that I'm doing the royal test right now.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
For the shirt.
Shit, I ain't gonna get. Let you get back to work.
All right, I'm gonna put the shirt in there. So if you're in the Dallas area,
yes, sir.
Cedar Hill, I am fitness. That was impromptu, man. Turns out the press was just wide enough, but I don't like to run it all the way to the edge, even though it is a geonite. So here is our swatch shirt, or whatever you want to call it. So if you need any sort of Pantone, not quite PMS, it won't be that perfect, but you can get your colors as close as possible. So now I'm taking the royal shirt, and I'm just panning over to find out what the closest color to royal would be. Burn my knuckles. Oh, this is very close here. So it's probably gonna be this color here, and this color here is a close second. But that's me being a critic. I'm gonna go with this. Man, yeah, this one here. So if you do it on a black shirt, make a mistake like me. What we need to do is treat this like rows and columns. So this is chart number 2, chart number 1. So I know that I'm going chart number 1, and I'm coming over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 columns, and 1, 2, 3, 4 rows down. So that's 8 columns and 4 rows. Now we're going to go back to our artwork in Illustrator. Okay, so now we're here in Illustrator, and I actually corrected myself. It's actually going to be 8 columns and 5 rows. I didn't count the 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here's the color. We hit I on the keyboard for our eyedropper tool within Illustrator. Again, if you're using another program, I wouldn't know how you do that. You would do that rather. So now we're going to create just a simple rectangle here. It has the new color, which is our royal. And I go back to the original artwork and what the client would like. You just met him. For I Am Fitness, what he would like is that royal color on one of his layouts. So now I need to make sure that I'm pasting it into a document with the same color space, which is RGB. Once you confirm that, you're going to hit Control V, or you can paste. What's happening is this layer is hidden, so we'll create a new layer here. Now that should work. Now we're sending this over. This is our royal. This is our royal color. So I don't need this any longer. Now, a quick tip is to select one of these. Item that's red, come up to select same. Fill color. It's going to select all of this exact fill color. Make sure the outline isn't selected, which would be that. Make sure that the fill color is selected. And you're just going to come over here and there's our royal. And I believe he wanted a black and white one, so let me save myself a little time. Just make this black here. And that's not true. Okay. Export. Which my black, even at 50%, it shouldn't lighten it up to a gray or anything like that. It should stay black. And if it doesn't, I'll have one for a gray shirt. So change this to PNG since I had to cancel it first. Paste this file type, or file name rather. And I'm just confirming everything. Now once this exports, what we would do is we would import it into our ACRORIP here, but I don't want the computer to crash or anything like that, so I'm just being patient here. Okay, so that's incorrect. Here's the correct file. And again, we're hitting right click or right clicking over the image that's already here. Do not go up to file and open if you're in ACRORIP 9. It will reset your settings. Okay, we're going to mirror this first. Get in a habit of mirroring your image first before you do anything else. That way there's no way you can possibly forget. 50% color channel. All ACRORIP 10 is so good about keeping these settings. I can't stress it enough. I can do a speed test between the two if you need me to, if you like me to. So you're gonna right click, print, make sure these are both checked. Same settings, same variables as the color chart. Remember, all of this has to match in order for that color to come out the way you intend it to. So I'm going to load a sheet of film before it sends it over. Alright, so here's the big reveal. Whoa. Whoa. Yeah. Okay, so ready to gonna weigh this here a little bit. Let the print set. Okay. So ready here. Beautiful royal color. It's a little dark. The camera lighting is, but and we will compare it after I press these shirts, just so it'll be in the same light and you can see the actual royal shirt versus our spot color, so you know everything's legit. And again, if you have a better method, show me, and I'll try to do it. But this is the best way that I found with other printing methods that have still held true. to creating spot colors for clients that wear Jordans and different types of shoes and things like that, and they want the colors to match perfectly. So we're taking this over to the Geonite here, just because it has a smaller print. If you're wondering why I would do that, it's a front left chest pocket hit. No need, probably can't hear me. No need at all to prep the entire front of the shirt if you're just doing a pocket, chest pocket hit. There's no point in lint shaving the entire front. Simplicity. Okay, and he wears size large. Just double check myself here. Large. And slide this down a bit. To be honest with you, I always thought these little rulers were really, I don't know, like for noobs or whatever you want to call them. But again, I was a noob in printing, saying that I didn't want to use one of these, and I just ordered these, I think, last month. Just because, when you start doing 100 shirts, or hundreds of shirts a week, if you're blessed enough, it gets out of hand when you're measuring this, and it's pretty quick. All right. Again, if you cool it on glass operates, or not operates, but it maintains a lower, make sure I'm getting this correct. Yeah, lower than room temperature. So it's going to cool a lot faster than doing this or using a piece of textile or shirt, to cool it off. That glass will do it in 20 seconds if you're rubbing it. Okay. Beautiful. You can kind of tell, maybe not. But yeah, this is beautiful here. I do like the hybrid cold peel paper, which is the roll that we'll be using for the Epson 7890 here. Oh, I didn't even pre-press that. I could hear you talking through the screen. One of y'all out there said he didn't preheat that shirt, and I heard you. Or he didn't pre-press, not pre-treat, but pre-press. All right. Okay, I don't want to be in too much of a rush to where my transfer comes out looking like Junkie Jack. All right. But yeah, I'll be doing a PET film comparison between 3 or 4 other brands. If you're a supplier and you happen to be watching this, from behind the scenes, please shoot me a message and I'll buy it from you. I don't have to be sponsored or anything. Just send it to me, I'll order it, and then I'll do a comparative video so that people can see. Okay, it's better. So I like my white a little bit more vibrant, but this is really, really good. So as promised, let's see if I screwed anything up. And we have Royal on Royal. It looks a little darker, but in person it's not. I don't know why it's, yeah, so it's probably a better angle. But yeah, spot colors. No ICC profile. So for those of you who have stuck it out this entire time, I appreciate the support. I think we're approaching 300 subscribers, which is way more than I could have hoped for in such a short amount of time. Thank you for those who have shared the videos and watched them. I have some of my buddies that actually set it on a playlist, and they might watch they have nothing to do with printing, but they support me. So I appreciate every striking thing that I get. Keep printing and stay elegant. So I am fitness.
Yes, sir.
Since you hijacked my video,
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna leave it in. All right.
Too.
So come and check this out real quick.
Yes, sir.
So real quick, one word of wisdom.
One word of
to
wisdom.
the people.
I don't know if you believe or not, but as long as you keep the Most High first,
You
and
gotta do
everything
that.
else will fall in place.
Yes,
'Cause
sir.
As long as you put it like this, as long as you waking up, you breathing, you winning.
I am fitness.
Yes, sir. I am fitting. I am.
So here's a shirt here. Other brother.
What you got?
Not much. I wanted to show him this royal.
Oh, he on his YouTube.
Here's that. Yeah. Here's that black
Yes.
with
yes,
the royal on it.
Yes, sir.
So what do you think?
I am fitness. See
Check it
that?
out.
You set a goal to be a
Follow.
better version of yourself. Eventually, the goal will be a lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lifestyle, not temporary. I am fitness. Let's go.
All right, we out.